between like LA and New York is farming. I mean, I was thinking about it while I was watching this film, like, there's farming everywhere. Like, why do you think it is such an American depiction of or what people, one of the things people might think about is how American farming is.
Well, I mean, that's how we formed a nation, for better or for worse. I mean, that was the, as it's, Chris Leonard points out, that's how you could prove yourself here. You got a piece of land and it was make or break, and that was the beginning of like the truly, the small business. In America, and at the early on, I think it was 3 million. I mean, when we kind of hit our stride with farming, it was 3 million farms. That's a lot of farms, and now we're down to thousands, and most of those are corporatized. I mean, all of them are corporatized except that 1% that we filmed.
Obviously, it's great to see such a packed house here tonight. But to someone who might say to you, you know what, I know you produced this movie, I'm kind of afraid to see it. Like, what would your response be to that?
Well, I think that, first of all, I'd say it's not scary. I think you guys have all seen it now, and it's intention, it's about largely the people and these farmers and whistleblowers who are incredibly moving, incredibly good people trying to do the right thing, and it's not a scary topic. And I think it's important to know what you're putting into your body. It's like it's crazy to not have transparency about what something that we all do at least 3 times a day. I mean, I do many more times than 3, many more than 3 times a day. But every time we eat, you're making choice, you're expressing your values, whether it's religious restrictions or, health restrictions of what you eat, and it's a big part of your identity.
The movie's about an hour 30 minutes, an hour 40 minutes, and there's so much to it. I mean, I had to see it twice because I wanted to really get everything, and I'm just maybe wonder, like, how much more was there that you maybe wanted to include or wish you could have included but couldn't for whatever reason. What are some of the things that we didn't get to see that you wish you could have sort of kept in there?
Well, I mean, we went to China and India, and so you see the systems being set up there, and it's really fascinating because, I mean, it's almost like what's happening in India it's what happened here 30 or 40 years ago. So you can see kind of the newness of it and the excitement. So like when we went there to the fact, as opposed to here in the United States, when we went there, they're like, come on home. They were like, oh, you have 400,000 chickens here. And they're like, yes, we do. And they were very proud of it. And so it's this weird thing that's taking place. These factory farms are starting to spread throughout East Asia and South Asia in a rapidly. And we also filmed a Tyson plant that processes 1 billion birds, which I can't even get my head around a year. 1 billion birds a year. So it's big and it's huge, and the so-called Western diet that we love so much, and is now getting adopted elsewhere. And it was interesting. We also filmed with a lot of people going to KFC. It's what I think happened here in the United States. People used to kind of, we get to go to KFC. It's a special night. You go and you take your family to Kentucky Fried Chicken, and that was taking place in India and in China. And so that kind of expansion, that global expansion, is really not there. We tried to keep it in for the longest time.
One of the moments in the film when the guys like shut off the camera, how often did that happen? How intense did that get in terms of people really being shut off that camera?
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like we kind of have, it's what we were talking about earlier, it's not even really the greatest hits. It's like, that's just like a sampling of when you get to these farms, you can't really call them farms, the complexes, and the managers come out to kind of handle somebody who's like, you know, filming or looking around. It was, I mean, it happened all the time. We have a ton of it. And it's hard to see. You see that little bit where we're racing around and it's blurry and all that sort of stuff. But that was very real because there were F-150s going like 70 miles per hour towards my crew. And, you know, then you're like, get inside, you know, you're like, and then we'd go back out and it would happen again. And that was, you know, that kind of squaring off. You know what's the nice thing about it though is you can see they were really pained about it, because I think most of those managers or farmers or whatever you want to call them actually have a link to our former selves. They were generationally brought up as a dairy farmer or something, and you can see, I mean, there's a great deal of hope in that. You can see that they know it's not right, and that's one of the big reasons that they're coming up and trying to hide it, you know?
But, you know, they're talking about hiding it, like, when they would show the exteriors of the factory farms, and with the emaciated cattle and the polluted water and all that, I'm like, God, this looks so familiar. I mean, I feel like I've seen this before, and then it hit me, you know, if you're driving north on the 5 to San Francisco, like Central California, I mean, boom, it's like there it is. It's like right there on the 5, and you went there.
Yeah, that actually was where I really thought I was gonna get my butt kicked. There was a guy that came out. We didn't have the cameras rolling anymore because I really took him seriously. And yeah, he wanted to lick me, you know, hard. I mean, it was like one of those things. I felt like I was just gonna get it, and I think he did everything in his power not to punch me.
The other film this made me think about in a lot of ways were the two Inconvenient Truth films, in terms of like, you know, these are the facts and this is what's going on, and then it ends with hope. A lot of it, hope. Hope for what farmers could do, hope for what we could do. What were some of the, I mean, you know, the movie touched on this too, but, you know, what are some of the other ways, maybe since the movie wrapped, that you see changes that the farmers are doing?
I don't know about the farmers particularly changing, but I think that the consumers are definitely changing, and consumer demand, I think, is going to make change. Jonathan likes to say that, you know, now on college campuses there's more vegetarians than Catholics, and it's really, you can see the younger generation is paying attention to this, is changing, is asking for, you know, vegan and vegetarian meals in their dining halls and university campuses, and, you know, they are becoming the consumers. We're seeing our fast food restaurants offer vegan and vegetarian choices. Obviously, here in California, there's like plentiful options of vegan and vegetarian food. So it's definitely, that's hopeful. And a lot of people are just being more conscious. And I think, you know, even if you choose to be vegan once a day, once a week, or vegetarian once a day, once a week, that makes a big change when it's on a large scale. And also China, I mean, what you were saying.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So the way that we're going, I mean, it's going to be 9 billion people on the planet in 50 years. So, and with the meteoric rise of meat consumption taking place in these, you know, this disposable income in areas that formerly didn't have it, and so meat consumption's on the rise. And we're gonna have to raise, instead of 50 billion animals a year, we're gonna have to raise 100 billion. And the resources are just gonna get wiped out. I mean, the planet can't deal with it. There's not enough water resources in the land. So it's just it's an issue we unfortunately all have to face. But the good news is, and I really feel this way, it's the plant-based alternatives, like what you were just saying. It's like, you know, White Castle has a vegan burger and it's delicious. It's this Impossible burger, and it's really, I mean,
White Castle?
I just had one in Boston last night, and it was incredible. Not White Castle, but I went in and met up with some friends, and they had on the menu the Impossible burger. So it was like, you know, I mean, I think that's what, you know, there has to be some sort of solution, like what Natalie